Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. I'm George Staniueli. With me today, of course, is co-founder of The Gaggle, Peter Lavelle, host also of RT's talk show, Crosstalk. Well, it happened. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, yesterday formally resigned. He will be out of office within 2 weeks. I have to say, first of all, that I was surprised. I thought that he would survive. He would do a Bill Clinton, and he would just simply, or Governor Nordstrom of Virginia, he would just simply, refuse to go. And given all his political cachet, he would survive. Obviously, he didn't have the votes, and he realized his time was up. Naturally, there's rejoicing in the media, particularly among all the woke set. There are some opportunist people like Joe Scarborough saying, "Oh well, look, the Democrats, they're so principled. They disown someone who has transgressed seriously, as unlike the Republicans who still worship at the altar of Donald Trump." You have the conservatives who supposedly should be a little more sensible about these things, but who are also kind of raising their skirts in horror. Oh my God, the terrible, terrible things that Andrew Cuomo has done, what these women have listed, and so on. We talked about this before. That report prepared by Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, is a joke. There is no evidence there that Cuomo sexually harassed the people on his staff in the way we understand the term. He didn't sexually assault them. He didn't importune them for dates. He didn't have any sexual relations with them at all, unlike, say, Bill Clinton. He didn't do serious groping like we've actually seen Joe Biden do. He didn't promote or demote women according to whether they'd go on dates with him or whether they'd do sexual favors for him. He was a little bit handsy. Talked in a kind of smutty way. He obviously gets off on this. But one of the sad things about all those episodes that were listed by the Attorney General is that he was kind of looking for a girlfriend. I mean, it always seemed to be the subject that came to this. It's a lonely 63-year-old man. He's divorced. He's looking for a girlfriend.
Even his brother brought that up during their love fest. Remember last year?
Yeah. I have no truck with Andrew Cuomo, awful person in many ways, particularly on the issue of the COVID. But this is ridiculous. I mean, he didn't deserve to be kicked out for this. What's your take?
Rest assured, George, an equally awful person will take his place. Okay.
Worse, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it seems to me there's a number of things here. I think clearly, and looking at his long career in politics, he's a bully. Okay, very much so. Not good at making friends. When he had power, he made people kiss the ring. But when you don't have the power, and it's interesting about the Democratic Party is that the timing of this is really interesting for me, because when Trump's gone, he's dispendable. Don't need him. And he is obnoxious. People didn't like him, and we don't need him anymore. And as a matter of fact, he can be held collectively responsible for the ills of the and wrongdoing of the blue states. This is they're absolving themselves, washing themselves in glory. Okay, because and even as a Democrat, he wasn't much of a Democrat either. If you look at the state assembly, he actually used the Republican caucus against the Democratic Party repeatedly, okay? Right. So, was he a good governor? No. Was he a good person? No. Was he a good Democrat? No. You tick all the boxes. No. And they don't need him anymore. Right. I'm not going to miss him, but I agree with you. This particularly on Fox, with his brother. For God's sake, they're brothers. Okay.
Exactly. I think Tucker Carlson made that very point. Yeah. That why criticize Chris Cuomo for doing what he's supposed to do, which is to help his brother.
Yeah, I find that, you know, it's this bloodthirst that I'm so, you know, against, okay, on both sides, okay? I don't like it. It doesn't get us anywhere. And I have to say, because of the hour differences, I was shocked this morning. I was truly shocked that he went down this way. I don't know. Did he send out feelers? You know, is there any kind of?
I think he didn't have the votes. I think he was in the same situation that Nixon was in August 1974. I mean, you know, he looked around. Do I have the votes to survive? And once he realized he didn't have the votes to survive, he had to hand in his resignation. I mean, you know, the trial would. I mean, obviously the assembly would have impeached him. He probably didn't have the votes in the New York Senate. You know, he didn't want to go through the humiliation.
Yeah, but for me, it says so much more about the Democratic Party than anything else, and their ethos. Okay, they are groupthink. They are a clan, and for the good of the clan, for the good of the tribe, and all of this, you know, he was the sacrificial lamb. Yes. I'm not defending Cuomo. I'm not defending, you know, what he did, what he said. I think he was a piggish, a thuggish guy. But I mean, what I abhor is this almost orgasmic piling in.
Well, I think that's
and you know, George, you know, over the last couple of weeks, did it take much courage to do that? I mean, his handsiness was well known.
That's what it was, and that's why when you read that report, you keep waiting. Okay, now let's get to the real, you know, the serious thing, the real sexual harassment. You know, the kind that we remember from the Clinton era. I mean, you know, he was having sexual relations with somebody who was directly working under him, or even, you know, the charges that were laid against Biden. I mean, Tara Reid. I mean, she was very explicit about what Biden did. And you know,
and she has contemporaneous evidence.
And not to mention all of the footage that we have from YouTube, where he's constantly groping and giving unwanted massages to women. He was the vice president, so the women weren't really in any great position to object. But even in those footage, you can see, you know, like, you know, the husbands of these women looking sort of rather annoyed at Biden, and Biden was doing it with young girls as well. I mean, sniffing their hair. I mean, he's a truly disgusting person. Children, just a truly vile, disgusting person.
Yeah, so where are we with this Me Too thing? Okay, because at the end of the day, Andrew Cuomo wasn't good for the Democratic brand. That's why they're invoking this, because he wasn't good for the brand. But so the women are really kind of a fodder for all of this, okay? Right. And so again, that is a casualty of all of this, is that it's not really about the privacy and dignity of women. It's about getting, for the good of the party, we need to get rid of this guy here. So
well, I think so. Well, good of the party, but ultimately you also have to say, it's the elimination of a possible rival and successor to Biden, because we know, you know, I mean, we saw yesterday Biden had no idea even where he was when he was at the White House. He went the wrong way. So we know that, you know, he's not exactly complimentous in many different ways. We know Harris is not liked within the party, not liked nationally. So they don't want anyone thinking, hey, there's an alternative somewhere, which is why they haven't done very much to help out the governor of California, you know, Newsom, exactly, Gavin Newsom. I mean, so he's in a lot of trouble. So Biden was to eliminate anyone at all. I mean,
it's so interesting that you say that, because, you know, I think we're seeing a trend here. We need a little bit more time, but I think there's definitely a trend here, is that the party will anoint someone, not the people, not the voters, okay? The party will decide. I mean, I was thinking about this morning, but thinking that we would do this afternoon. And the parallels to a Bolshevik mindset of the 1920s, it's just remarkable.
It is, yes.
It's remarkable. I mean, and also, I sent you a message a couple of days ago. All these Democrat A-listers, Michael Avenatti, Andrew Cuomo, These people,
Right.
you know, they use them for their purposes, and then, oh, we didn't know. Oh my goodness. Okay. And of course, the way you and I watched it, it was obnoxious to watch how they built up Cuomo all last year. It was, I mean, this was like North Korea, you know.
It
level.
was, and in fact, they didn't even show. I didn't see the footage. You remember when all these movie stars, these A-list movie stars, were issuing these messages about what a great man Cuomo is. You remember Robert De Niro and all of these.
Emmy.
Yeah. You know, good on you, guy. You know, you did it. You know, you've shown national leadership. You have shown us what leadership is, unlike this terrible person occupying the Oval Office. So, you know, that was that, you know, Cuomo was lapping all of this up. I mean, it is a spectacular fall. I haven't seen any fall quite as swift as this one. You know, the man was going to be, you know, there was serious talk that he would be, that the nomination would be his. He would just waltz in because there was just no way that the party could take Biden. I mean, because, you know, he was obviously suffering from dementia, and that Andrew Cuomo would just be helicoptered in and take over the party. So that was a really a spectacular fall. But it is amazing that the thing that is the most important issue, which is the nursing homes issue, that's really been put on the back burner. You know, no one wants to talk about that. You know, because that's embarrassing. A lot of the Democratic governors were doing that, and they loved it because everything could just be blamed on Donald Trump.
Problem is solved. He's gone.
Yeah.
All right. I have a prediction. One of their current A-listers that's in really big trouble, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Right. Wow. He's certainly in big trouble. I think that's right.
I think he's in really deep. I mean, personally, my own personal opinion, he's got to keep this thing going because they want everyone to focus on now and over the next couple of months. But the real money is what happened before. Right. And now he doesn't want anyone to look back.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yes, going back, and then the role that he played, that sinister role he played in pressuring all of the scientists to come up with that thesis when they weren't all convinced that, oh, it's a natural origin. Oh, the wet market is a lab leak. No, lab leak. You know, and we know, you know, that Fauci has the means to put pressure on the scientists. He controls the purse strings. A lot of money goes.
What a lot of people don't seem to understand is that I'm perfectly willing to accept that he has medical degrees. I don't deny them. But that's not what he does in government. He doles out the dough, everybody.
Big dough. You know, we're talking about billions that he doles out. That's serious money. And scientists, researchers, university departments, I mean, they live off this money. And so universities are in a position to start pressuring their scientists. You better toe the line or this grant vanishes. And we depend on this damn grant. So so therefore he had the means to pressure and get everyone to fall in line with this thing. Oh, that's a lot of, just couldn't possibly be a lab leak. So yeah, but I think that going back to the Cuomo thing, it is remarkable that it's hard to see who on the horizon, on the Democratic Party horizon now, is in any way a possible replacement for Biden. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, if you ask me who could it be, I don't see it.
You know, it's very interesting. In established religions, there's never a Messiah because the Messiah is already, you know, been pronounced and created the religion. The Democratic Party is very much like that. It does not like a Messiah. It has to be the church.
Right.
The church that has to decide who is anointed. Okay, it's very much like the Catholic Church. You know, ever since Jesus, there's never been a Messiah. Okay, because we already got one. Okay, so we're not, and anyone that approaches that, squashed. Okay, and that's why you have the papacy to make sure nothing like that ever happens. Okay, and this is what so it's like the DNC. you know, they're the holy office, okay?
No, I think it's a good,
I'm absolutely convinced that they will. And I mean, Bernie Sanders was a walk in the park in 2016 and in 2020. He was a walk in the park, okay? Right. And he was not anointed. He was not anointed.
Right. Okay? I think it's a very good point, very good analogy, is that if the party decides who is to be the anointed, they decided, right? Obama, you know, the Clyburn, the people at the top, they decided it would be Biden. No one else, only Biden could defeat Donald Trump. And that was their decision. Everyone, you know, there was Biden coming in a poor 4th or 5th in the primaries. And then suddenly, boom, he's thrust forward as the nominee.
I'm going to go reach back in history because I love history. Kirov in Leningrad. He was an up and coming star in the Communist Party. Right. And he was a Messiah-like figure. He was charismatic, he was good looking, he was well educated, he was well spoken, but it was intolerable for the party to have a charismatic figure because only the party can be charismatic. Right. Okay, and this is that's happening here. So, I mean, Andrew Cuomo, you know, we won't miss you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Gavin Newsom, he may also be for the birds. So he'll be
Larry Elder. Yeah, Larry Elder for governor.
That's right. And then you know that woman in the governor, the Michigan governor. Was it Gretchen Whitmer? Gretchen Whitmer, yeah, Gretchen Whitmer. She's got her own problems. Very hard. But you're probably right in that you know, if there's a need will arise to replace Biden and to make sure that Harris doesn't take over, they will have to come up with someone, and no doubt Obama and Clyburn, and you know, Steny Hoyer or Pelosi will get around and decide who it should be. Somebody we don't know. You know, they'll manufacture some candidate we have no idea of. We'll say he is the perfect person because they're not going to go into an election with either. I don't believe they're going to either Biden or Harris at the head of the ticket.
I think I know who that person may be. And this young woman will be more than willing to take the knee and kiss the ring. And it's AOC, okay?
Well, I was wondering that, is she going to be old enough? Remember, you have to be 35 to be president. I'm not sure. I think it's touch and go as to whether she'll be 35.
She's real close.
It's real close. I'm not sure she is, but absolutely, AOC would definitely be a.
Oh, I mean, she would. I mean, she's already a complete sellout. She is just a media joke. Everyone. She doesn't believe in anything whatsoever. Okay. Right. I mean, you know, forced the vote. When it came to actually do something, she was, her office was closed.
Okay? Oh yeah, that's it.
And that's the perfect vessel that you want. Someone that will completely abandon their principles in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
power.
That's it. Yeah. No, I think she'd be a she would definitely be someone that the Democratic would get behind. Yeah, I mean, I can see, you know, an AOC. Probably maybe a John Kerry as a number 2 to add solidity and a kind of, you know, the weight, gravitas, you know, so because, you know, just people might have worries, just much like Biden did to Obama, you know, people had concerns about, you know, that Obama seemed like a lightweight. So he's got this safe pair of hands, Biden, next to him. So yeah, I can see an AOC John Kerry ticket in 2024, if she's old enough.
With the departure of Andrew Cuomo, the Democratic Party hasn't changed one bit, folks.
No. I think that's right. I think that's one can safely say that the world will remain the same without him.
That's right. All right, everybody, we're on Local, so go to thegaggle.locals.com. We're doing Zoom interviews with gagglers. George has already done a live stream. We have the store up. We're gonna do a super chat real soon on YouTube. Then let us back on. And
we have the tip jar, which was Buddy knocked over the other day because it's so light that even he managed to knock it over. So we'd like it to be filling up if possible. So we of course appreciate all that you've done for us, all the help and the donations. But you know, we don't have billionaires underwriting us, no Zuckerberg, Soros, or anyone else knocking on our door. So we rely on the generosity of fellow gagglers. So yeah, please do whatever you can. And remember, if you like the gaggle, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.